friend, someone who wants to give the State of the State address next year in the great state of California. He's Steve Hilton, the Republican gubernatorial candidate. Steve, welcome back. Good to see you.
Great to be with you, Ed.
We'll get to the State of the Union, but first, when Gavin Newsom leaves all the problems on the West Coast that you're trying to fix now, to fly around Europe, we saw him in Munich and everywhere, now around America on a book tour, and he tells black people he relates to them because he can't read a speech and had a low SAT score. Is that a little strange to you?
Well, it's disgusting, actually. It's the classic patronizing racism. You saw it with Biden, where he basically, whatever his thing was, you know, your poor kids are just as smart as white kids or whatever. Yeah. And at least with Biden, he could say, well, you know, he's senile, so that's an excuse of sorts. What's Gavin Newsom's excuse? It's actually reveals the deep sickness within this party, and their attitude to race is actually deeper than just some, you know, embarrassing remark. It shows that they genuinely see black people in America as victims in need of government largesse rather than Americans who have the equal opportunity to rise up, and it's the job of government to make sure that equal opportunity is there. But their whole mindset is patronizing, and it's totally racist. And he shouldn't be allowed to, you know, it's ridiculous. It's also, by the way that he's responding now, this cursing on social media at Sean Hannity, and then Katie Porter cursing. And it's becoming such a kind of norm for them now. They're really bringing politics into disrepute. And it's because they've got nothing to say. They've got nothing to say. Their record is, in California, the worst in the country. Gavin Newsom, the most useless governor in America.
There you go.
Absolute worst results on everything, right?
So,
I mean, you're down. Pushed him on affordability. We've got the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate, the highest cost of living, the worst business climate, everything the worst in America, thanks to Gavin Newsom and Katie Porter and all these people.
But they have quantum computing, he tells us, so it's all good. Here, one more on style, and we'll get to substance. Here's Gavin Newsom, by the way, in high school, where he was granted the most stylish as a superlative. With the scarf and the hair gel. I think Dana Bash was right.
It's been going on a long time.
Doesn't it scream more elitist than this I'm one of you thing he's trying now?
I know, it's so gross, actually. And this is such a contrast with President Trump. And I'm so glad you pointed that out when talking about the fantastic hockey team triumph in the Olympics, which is that President Trump has never pretended to be anyone else. He's always himself. He absolutely, he's a billionaire, and he never pretends to be anything else, but he can relate to people. And funnily enough, it's something I've spoken to the president about, which is that my background, my stepfather worked construction. My first job was project manager for a construction company. And that just ability to relate to regular people, because you've worked with them, you've worked alongside them, it's just very, very normal. And Newsom has never had that.
Absolutely.
And it's just this total elite bubble he's been in. And this pathetic attempt to pander to people, I think is going to turn people off massively across the country, honestly.
Now, in the race to replace him, we saw some polling last week suggesting you may be surging in the race on the Republican side. I saw over the weekend Democrats actually telling Politico and others they're getting scared you could win this if all these crazy Democrats like Katie Porter and Swalwell split the vote in the jungle primary. And then on your side, there's Republican Chad Bianco, the Riverside County Sheriff. Did I read right that he says as sheriff he doesn't want to cooperate with ICE on deportations? Was that accurate?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big disagreement between us, honestly, on substance in the race. He said that he made it clear that his deputies won't enforce federal immigration law, don't want to work with ICE. But it goes beyond that. He's actually said that however, and this is the quote, the videos emerged last week, and they're recent, just from November last year, I believe, that however you got here, you should have a pathway to citizenship, that we should legalize people who are here. Doesn't matter how you got here. It's very extreme, the way he's talking about it. And it's actually, we've got to be clear that illegal immigration is illegal. It's pretty simple. I'm a legal immigrant. I came here legally. It would never enter my head if at any stage in becoming an American citizen something went wrong and I wasn't granted the green card or citizenship or whatever, just to stay here. No, we've got to. We have
Follow the
decades
law.
now.
Yeah.
Where we've turned a blind eye to mass law breaking, and it's got to stop.